And Pixel just writes in our chat room that rumors are swirling that the Phillies might be dumping and calling it this season a wash. And I agree with that. I heard that as well. So they might put up Victorino and Cole Hamels and perhaps Cliff Lee on the market. Yanks are rumored to having eyes on Cliff Lee. I don't want Cliff Lee.
What a surprise.
I don't want Cliff Lee. He makes so much money. He's older. I don't want Cliff Lee on the Yankees. I don't. You know, I don't want to trade for him. Signing him as a free agent is different. I don't want to trade.
You don't want to lose.
I don't want to lose my top prospects for a 33 or 34-year-old Cliff Lee already. I don't want to do it. I wouldn't mind giving up some prospects for Hamels and trying to sign Hamels to a long-term deal. That I'd have no issue with. I'd take Hamels and not Lee.
KGM just said exactly the same thing. We gotta get KGM to call in every now and then.
Yeah, KGM,
he might be working.
201-430-2119. But that would be awesome. If the Yankees could get Cole Hamels, I would actually think that they would become a World Series team. Right now, they're easily a playoff team. They're always a World Series contender. But I think with the way that their pitching staff is and that they hit too many home runs, I don't think they're World Series capable right this second. I still don't.
Yeah, even Pixel with you. Hamels over Lee, no question about it. You know what? He would co-sign that check. So, all right. So, that's actually a pretty interesting thing that the Phillies could be thrown in the white towel.
And the Phillies just better look for the best deal. If they're going to do that for Hamels or even Lee, if they're actually thinking about trading everybody and trying to restock, just look for the best deals. Don't get gun-ho and just start trading people just to trade them.
What do you think what kind of effect do you think that would have if they did it like long term? If they do this, do you think that means they're looking not to be relevant next year too?
If they trade Lee, I think that they're gonna try and re-sign Hamels.
Okay.
That's my gut feeling. Because Lee makes over $20 million. I think he makes like $20 to $25 million, which kills their payroll. And I think they would rather have the younger Hamels, who's only like 27, 28 in the prime of his career, than Cliff Lee, who can't stay healthy all year, who's still one of the better pitchers in baseball, but would you rather have a 27, 28-year-old Cole Hamels or a 33, 34-year-old Cliff Lee, who can't stay healthy?
I would take Hamels.
So if you could trade Lee and that contract, good for you, because then they're going to reinvest that money back in the Hamels. Yeah, I can almost guarantee that.
I could see where you're coming from on that. That's for sure.
Pixel thinks the Mets should jump in there and get Cliff Lee. It would be an awesome upgrade there. I don't see that either. The Mets don't really want to trade what they have. I'm sorry. The Mets are not going to trade for a 34-year-old pitcher. And trade their top prospects who they're hoping to build around.
Well, that's the whole Mets thing right now.
Right now they're
flat broke, so they're trying to...
They're trying to do Moneyball, but with money.
Yeah. KGM actually writes into the chat room, which is actually an interesting question. Do we think that the Yanks would be able to get Hamels with just foreign players, or would they need to put up some actual players?
That's a good question.
Well, let's say this, KGM. Let's say the answer is that they would have to put up actual players in the deal. Who would you personally be willing to lose off of the Yankees to get Hamels?
If it's for Hamels, I wouldn't even mind trading. Wow.
Jeremy says hang A-Rod.
Yeah, hang A-Rod.
Careful, Jeremy. Christina will start going after you again.
I would give up at least one of the killer bees for Hamels. At least one of them.
Yeah.
And I guess they'd have to probably give up Nova or Hughes. And, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how I would really feel about that.
It's a rough spot because
tough.
You gotta like the team you got going right now.
Absolutely, but Hamels is an ace. Hamels would make that team
I didn't even
better.
see what Christina wrote. Christina writes into the chat room, the Mets need to drop out of the major leagues and turn into a AA team. That's terrible. That was not nice.
I'm actually agreeing with KGM.
Jabba deal. What about Jabba? I mean,
Jabba's not healthy yet. He's not even trade bait right now. He's got to prove that he's healthy. And he's still on the DL, so you technically can't even trade him. But I wouldn't be opposed to trading one of the killer bees and a starter for Cole Hamels, a guy who's going to be the ace of the staff with CC for the next 5 years or whatever. if they could sign Hamels, no issues with giving up foreign prospects. No issues.
I see what you're saying. Because, I mean, let's be honest. Hamels is a guy that, I mean, what's he, 26?
I think he's 27 or 28.
So let's say mid to early part of the late 20s. And this is a guy that has been consistently good now for as far back as I can really remember when it comes down to his career. I don't really remember people saying, oh, this Cole Hamels guy, we're not sure what he's going to be. You know, I mean, from everything I know of him, he's been pretty much consistent his whole career. But I think that if the Yankees can add him to put with CC and the way you guys, some of your pitchers have been, I mean, it would be a good move. I just think
huge.
Sports Zone, Hamels or Timmy? Look, we got major issues with Timmy Lincecum right now.
All right, he's 28 right now, Cole Hamels.
Okay.
He's going to be 29 in December. And let's see. I'd absolutely take Cole Hamels over Timmy right now. But if you can get it, I'm saying if you could get Timmy on the cheap, I wouldn't mind trading for Timmy Lincecum if you can get him on the cheap.
Like cheap though.
Cheap.
Joe, you say cheap. You mean cheap. You're not talking like, you know.
I'm not trying to give up both killer bees and this guy to get him. Now, if you can get him for cheap, I'm all about it.
See, and that's, you know, I think the Yankees, to me, seem like a team that can make moves, but don't need to make moves. You know, and to me, I also think that if I'm a Yankee fan, I'm looking for guys that are going to help us with runners in scoring position. That to me is my biggest concern.
Well, you can never have enough pitching as well, so I'm not going to argue with that. So I don't know where they're going to go, if they're going to make any trades. If they do, if they could land Hamels, not going to argue with that. But I don't think you're going to see any big trades made by the New York Yankees.
See, I like how Pixel wrote it. Yanks, all they need is tweaking.
They do.
They don't need changes, just like a little tweak.
Like Pixel was saying yesterday, if Gardner could come back and be healthy, that's awesome. They don't even need to make a trade then, because Gardner really is a key to that lineup that they're missing. So if he can come back healthy, it'll definitely bring more of an intrigue to that Yankee lineup.
Jeremy puts that Lincecum would never want to sign with the Yankees because he wouldn't want to cut his hair.
Chill out.
Chill out. Sarah
I'm sorry.
Puts, well, Johnny Damon did.
Damon cut his hair, and then Darnell McDonald from the Red Sox just came to the Yankees from waivers and had to cut his dreads.
Yeah, 95% of the people that play in baseball grew up as wanting to play for the Yankees.
You're crazy. That's too high of a number, bro.
I would definitely go over 70.
I would probably say maybe a 50-50 split.
I would go
maybe.
over 50. I definitely would. The Yankees are the biggest. It's like, do you
just
realize how many guys in the NFL grew up wanting to play for the Dallas Cowboys?
Okay.
It's the same. To me, it was the same idea.
I kind of think differently. Sarah, everybody probably wants to play for the Yankees, but I don't think everybody grew up rooting for the Yankees. If you grew up in...
No, I'm not saying rooting for them. I'm saying that a large majority of people, when you're a kid, you're a Yankee fan. As being a Yankee fan, you say to yourself, if I could play in the major leagues, I would want to play for the Yankees.
I know a lot of Red Sox. I know a lot of Red Sox fans. I think baseball is just, I don't know, I think it's a little different. I think you have better roots with baseball as opposed to football.
Like, I just laughed when I heard, Victor Cruz. I grew up in Dallas Cowboy fan. Now I hate the Cowboys. And that's what I would do, too. I love the Dallas Cowboys, but if I got an NFL gig with another team, I would hate the Cowboys anytime I played them. Outside of that, obviously, I'd probably still be a fan, but I would hate them anytime I played them. No questions asked, I would hate them.
Yeah. So this weekend, you got the Yankees going up against the Angels in a 3-game series. They're home. KGM is actually going to the game tonight, so have a great time,
awesome,
brother.
KGM, man. We hope you have fun.
It's Hiroki Kuroda versus CJ Wilson tonight. Tomorrow it's Freddie Garcia versus Jerome Williams. And Sunday is the big game. It's Ivan Nova versus Jared Weaver. That should be a good game.
That should be a fun game. Ivan Nova has played pretty much awesome over his last couple starts.
Not awesome, but he's pitched very well.
I heard one announcer say about him, he just knows how to win.
He knows how to win, and that's only because he's on the Yankees.
It helps.
It's no disrespect to him, but if you put him on any other team, he might have half the wins that he has. That's why.
Okay, fair enough.
Even though he has 9 or 10 wins on the year, his ERA is still very high. That's why I say that. And Mets are playing the Braves in a 3-game series tonight.
Real quick, I'm sorry. My
What's up?
apologies. I was busy typing into the chat room. I wanted to say one thing about the Angels-Yankees series that's actually really cool. Since May 1st, these two teams have the 2 best records in the major league, with the Yankees being 39-24 and the Angels at 40-23.
There you go.
So that's sick. To me, that is just sick. The 2 best records, and they're only a game apart from each other on that.
Look out for Angel All-Stars, Mark Trumbo, Mike Trout. They will be in the lineup tonight, and they're going to look to kill the ball. Mark Trumbo has crushed the Yankees all year, and he's looking to do so tonight.